5. The tilting of the Earth is deliberately set up. As for the Earth's orbit, it is tilted at a gradient of 23.5 degrees, you can use a globe as a sample. Without the tilting, there would be no alternating seasons on Earth. The equator would be unbearably hot, the temperate zone would be turned into the frigid zone, and Siberia in Russia would be part of Antarctica. If the tilting were at 90 degrees, the ice and snow in Antarctica would all be melted, and the Earth would be a complete ocean, with no single stretch of land. Can the Earth tilt at 24 degrees or 23 degrees? Absolutely not. If the Earth tilted at 24 degrees, all coastal cities would be submerged by water. If the Earth tilted at 23 degrees, the Earth would suffer from severe water shortage, and many rivers would disappear. Just imagine, would it work without the computation and design of a superwise being? Then, who is this superwise being? Neither you nor I, but the greatest creator. 6. 6. The moon is the guarantee of life on Earth. First, let's look at some moon-related figures. The moon is 380,000 kilometers away from Earth, and its mass is approximately 1/81st of Earth's mass. The moon completes a circle around Earth every 25 hours. It takes 27.3 days for the moon to go along its orbit as well as autorotation for one circle. The time interval between the first full moon and the next is 29.5 days. It tilts at 5 degrees in relation to the ecliptic, and its orbit is oval. The moon moves westward. These figures are crucial for life on Earth, and even the slightest changes could result in catastrophe. Some people have whimsically thought of blasting the moon. Others object to the idea, arguing that the moon should not be blasted, because without the moon, man would lose some sentiment. However, the matter is not so simple. Without the moon's gravitational pull, there would be no seasonal changes, no ebb and flow in the oceans, and no wind, clouds, rain, snow, thunder, or lightning on Earth. Life would not exist. This simple truth doesn't need to be explained in detail, right? One might argue, if life on land disappears, does that mean life in the oceans would also cease to exist? The answer is, yes, it would. Can life be born in a still ocean? Moreover, without the moon, we could not have inspiring moments like this. So bright a gleam on the foot of my bed. Could there have been frost already? Lifting my head to look, I found that it was moonlight. Sinking back again, I thought suddenly of home. Without the moon, life could not survive on Earth. Therefore, the moon is specially set up for the benefit of life on Earth, or we might say especially for humanity. Who has set up the moon? Our ancestors. Dinosaurs? Who but the greatest creator could have such power and capacity to hang the moon in the sky? 7. 7. The distance between the moon and the Earth allows for no deviation. The distance between the Earth and the moon is 384,400 kilometers. If the distance were shorter, the Earth would be ravaged by raging gusts and torrential rains. If the distance were farther, there would be only gentle breezes, occasional drizzles on Earth, and there would no longer be great storms, typhoons, thunder and lightning. In other words, life on Earth would suffer from bad weather and harsh environments. Just imagine what would happen if a jet plane skimmed just 1 meter above our heads. Not to mention the impact of the infrasonic and shock waves generated by the fast-flying plane, even the whirls of air currents brought about by the flight would carry us off our feet. The tiles on the roofs would certainly be blown away, and a course of water gully and water wall would be formed when the plane skimmed over the water. Suppose the volume of the plane was equivalent to 3 football fields. What would happen if it flew past the surface of the Earth? The consequences would be catastrophic. In the area it passed by, there would be scenes of general turmoil and mess, with animals scampering for their lives, people and horses thrown off their feet, walls tumbling down, wind roaring, and waves billowing. The ships on the sea would be wrecked, and the coastal areas would be frequently pestered by sudden storms. If this situation were to occur every 25 hours, the survival of life on Earth would be unimaginable. What would happen if this plane were the moon? Not to mention the effects of other harsh elements on life, one flight of such a plane would bring 1/3 of the ocean's water to the land. If it flew around the globe once, the resulting hurricane would cause downpours to descend from the sky, and all the continents would be transformed into an ocean. Could life survive such a scenario? Therefore, the distance between the Earth and the Moon cannot allow the slightest deviation. Then who designed such an appropriate distance? Undoubtedly, the design was made with accurate calculation by a superior being more intelligent than human beings. 8. Great storms, typhoons, and thunder and lightning are deliberately choreographed. The occurrence of great storms, typhoons, thunder and lightning is due to the existence of the Moon. Without gales, the convection of hot and cold air on Earth would be impossible. Chilly and sweltering weather would continue for longer periods. Clouds over the ocean would not drift towards land, and there would be no rain or snow. Without billows, there would be no gales. Without typhoons, vapor over the ocean could not be carried to the plains and plateaus. Without thunder and lightning, the missing ozone layer would not be replenished in a timely manner. As a result, ultraviolet radiation and other cosmic rays would shine directly on humans, causing everyone to suffer from skin cancer. Without thunder and lightning, the air could not be cleaned, and countless viral bacteria would multiply uncontrollably. Humans would no longer multiply, and the Earth today would show no evidence of human footprints. 9. The whole solar system has been set up especially for humans. We can see, as mentioned above, that the distances between the celestial bodies, the sizes of different celestial bodies, and their speeds of movement have all been accurately and meticulously designed and arranged in strict accordance with the scientific laws of the survival and development of matter. They definitely do not occur randomly or unintentionally. Some people may argue, the Sun and the Earth are extremely important to mankind, but the other celestial bodies in the solar system are just dispensable. Actually, this is not the case. Mercury, Venus, Mars, asteroid clusters, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto are all set up to protect the Earth. They are additional bodies of the Earth and have been set up and arranged for man. A riddance of any heavenly bodies or a change to any factor will alter the orbit of the Earth, and humans will not survive on Earth. Life only exists on Earth in the entire solar system, and there is absolutely no life on other planets because they are appurtenances of the Earth. To discover the secrets of the universe, astronomers have created countless space telescopes to observe space all day and night. This is a tiring task. Actually, if only we are capable of calculating and thinking, we can calculate, starting from man's basic necessities for survival, the masses of the Earth, the Moon, and other celestial bodies, the distances between them, their orbits, and speed. Without looking up into the sky, we can know what is there beyond Pluto and whether Uranus has satellites. When we come to know that there are superior life spaces apart from human society, we can infer the size and structure of the entire universe. When we are aware of this, we will discover that there are no superfluous galaxies and celestial bodies in the universe, and each has its function and position. Suppose we are in a highly democratic and developed country, we can infer from the clean and tidy streets that the country has a highly efficient urban sanitation management organization. From the size of the city and its population, and the living standard and other factors, we can work out the number of dustmen in this city without counting them one by one from each street to lane. If the actual figure is one more than our calculation, it is also to account for the possibility of someone needing to be replaced temporarily due to unforeseen circumstances. Summary. I have intended to use 50 phenomena to prove the existence of the greatest creator. Now upon reflection, I have found that 40 phenomena are already enough to prove the existence of the greatest creator. The wisdom of the greatest creator has been embodied in the running of celestial bodies to the deployment of resources on Earth, the brain of man to the instincts of animals, the operation of life to the extreme beauty, the occurrence of supernatural phenomena to the interpretation of dream, and the meaning of life and death to the rise and fall of civilizations. The greatest creator, and the greatest creator itself, is the lamplight to light the paths for mankind.